Hey everyone, this is Iron Torch 20 and we are continuing Mega Man Summer and going back over to the Classic series. And this is going to be the fourth entry in the Classic series. This is just recapping the events of the first game, because the first game never really bothered to do that. It just showed us a title screen, which was all fine and good for those days. And basically Mega Man 4 came out in 1991, and it was after some pretty successful games in 2 and 3, and they did make some changes to this one. You have your charge shot, you have your Mega Buster, you can still slide, Rush is still there, and I don't know, that's pretty much it. The game still controls really well. I find the graphics to be pretty good in this game, even if it is an 8-bit NES game. I mean, I still found the graphics and the controls to be one of the best in the series. And this is probably my third or fourth favorite classic Mega Man game, behind 2 and 3, and I'm not really sure if it's behind 9 or not. Yeah, let's put it number 3. But basically, you get your recap and get used to that image, because Mega Man loves riding trains in this game. And the big plot twist in this game is that apparently Dr. Wily is not the villain. Instead, you get this Russian scientist named Dr. Kozak. And we'll be getting into that more when we do beat the 8 robots and or the 8 robot masters, and then go after him. And this time you got the new Mega Buster. So here's our title screen. Pretty basic as before. You got our begin game, and then you got the password. And unlike Mega Man 3, the password doesn't save energy tanks, but there are 2 extra things you can find in this game that the password will take into account. So let's go ahead and get this started. And here's our cast of characters for this game. And since this is classic Mega Man, I don't have to worry about backtracking or anything, so I'll just go out to Ringman first. And Ringman stage is pretty challenging. It is really long, and there are a lot of instant death hazards. And this game loves to use spikes as instant death hazards. And there are also a lot of mini-bosses in this game that you do have to worry about. And most of the mini-bosses are actually going to be in this game, or in this stage. And also, these platforms start going away once you slide over them. And in my race that I did with Super Mega Dude, I was able to use the Rain Flush to get rid of these guys pretty quickly. And you can also use things like Balloon to make things go faster. But since I am just doing a Let's Play this game, I'm just gonna take the, or I'm not gonna have those power-ups on me right away. And here's our first encounter with a mini-boss, which is the hippo on the table. And basically all you want to do is just jump and shoot at it. Break the legs and then... Oh, that was lame. You want to break the legs of the table and then shoot the hippo. And what was lame was that I just lost an extra life from that. I mean, I guess the missile, like, gave me an extra life, and then it somehow went away after I killed the hippo, and... yeah, that's weird. Alright, well, I got that back. That was nice of them. Let's see. Saturns are going to be annoying because of where they're placed. And normally they're placed near spikes or pits. And this game does love to use spikes, as I mentioned before. And when we get to Dr. Kozak's castle, you'll see why. And with that mini-boss, it just fires rings at you and you have to hit it in the eyes. And because this is a Mega Man game, you're going to be seeing each mini-boss more than once. So here's round 2 with a hippo. So let's just keep going here. And I am using a turbo controller, for those of you wondering. So let's just get rid of this guy. Yeah, see, the missiles fortunately don't do a lot of damage, but they are just annoying to deal with. And also Rush is back, just like usual. And you also got yourself a new friend. just as soon as we get up here. This is going to be Eddie, better known as Flip Top, and he'll randomly give you an item. And usually he gives you something like weapon energy, but this time he gave me an E-Tank. And let's see, with these guys, they roll towards you, and you just want to make sure you take them out before they roll, because that's when they get invincible. And see, here's where the annoyingly placed Saturns can get you killed, because there is basically, or you're going over these reverse platforms over a big pit, and it does help to let these things go first, and then, let's see, go like while they're resetting, because then it does take longer for them to get back, and then it takes longer to make the platform go away. That's what I meant to say. And here's round 2 with a ring shooting guy. And fortunately he's not too tough to deal with. It's just whenever he's doing these short ones. He just likes to be annoying like that. But here we are at Ringman. And Ringman is pretty fast, but his pattern is really simple. So what I'm gonna do is jump over his ring that he shoots, and then jump again, then jump a third time, and then just run across the room, like so. In the Game Boy version, he actually shoots directly at you, so you do have to watch out for that, but that's not the case in this game. And that is the end of Ringman. And yeah, I am kind of glad to be getting back to recording classic Mega Man, just because I do find it a little bit easier, and I do find it a little bit quicker than the X series, especially since you know, I can just kind of wing it, as opposed to you know, having to come up with like the appropriate game plan in order to play for efficiency and minimize backtracking and figure out like where do I have to go next in order to make sure I get the most stuff in the least amount of time. But here we are at Brightman stage, and Brightman stage is probably the hardest out of the first 8. And the reason for that is this game just loves pits. And besides having a lot of pits, there's also these really annoying enemies that if you shoot the light bulb enemies, the lights go out, but you can shoot those green guys, and then the lights will come back on, and that'll actually get really annoying down the road, or near the end of the stage. And let's see, the grasshoppers will just give you a lift across the spikes. Nothing too big to worry about. And let's see, just our, I guess, ball shooting thing. I also like that in one race it was called like the Lawnmower Gumball Machine Hybrid. And that race was actually the reason I subscribed to those guys. So I actually do hope to see another one of those pretty soon. And for those of you wondering who I'm talking about, it's on Liam6's channel. He does have some pretty good Zelda stuff. I mean, that's why he wasn't really much of a Mega Man player. And for those of you wondering, those races were blind. But like I said before, Liam is best at Zelda games. And then in, see, I forget what Gnome Shark was really best at, but no, he has like a lot of platformers. He was naturally finished playing Sly Cooper and Thievius Raccoonus, which is a pretty interesting game. I mean, I've never really seen it before. I've actually never heard of it until his Let's Play, and then until the Super Gaming Brothers played it. But I mean, it was a game that looked pretty interesting. It had some pretty nice variety to it, besides like the stealth element, and then like lots of vehicles that you have to use. It does keep you on your toes, and that's one thing I like about games like that. But anyway, since I'm just going through Brightman stage, and here's the hard part of this stage, is that you do have to worry about going across these platformers while light bulb enemies are shooting at you. So let's just wait for this guy. And also, that alternate room that I went to was nice practice for this. And it's another one of those things where Mega Man games just like to make you do a whole bunch of problem solving. And you're not gonna get me. And by problem solving, I mean like, they teach you one gimmick and then build on it as the game goes on. But here we are at Brightman, and depending on what mood Brightman is, he can either be a cheap bastard or he can be a pretty easy opponent. Alright, it's just let's see, what he likes to do besides shoot at you is he likes to use that bulb on his head to stun you. And then he can either shoot at you or he can jump on you. And fortunately he was in a pretty good mood today, so he didn't jump on me a whole bunch of times like I've had happen to me before. And also when he jumps on you, that does do a ton of damage, so that is just something you do have to be aware of. But with that, Brightman is dead, and we have got ourselves the Flash Stopper. Pretty similar to Flashman's weapon, except that you can actually shoot with it now. But with that said, I am going to call it a part here, so join me next time as we take on some more Robot Masters. Almost said Mavericks that time. But yeah, Robot Masters. I'll see you next part.